Welcome back to another episode of Chris Talking Cameras wearing a stupid GoPro harness. Today it's the Sigma 50mm f1.4. One of my favourite lenses this. It's from the Sigma Art range. Has that big f1.4 aperture. That's not right. We're at f10 there. So if I open that up, look at that. Thing of beauty. f1.4, big aperture on a full frame Sony camera. Great lens. First thing to talk about is the size. That's a small camera, and look at the size of that lens. It's almost like a short telephoto. It's a 50mm prime, but it's pretty big. It's pretty heavy, weighs in at about 900 grams, just short of a kilo. But it's nicely made. It's water resistant, feels robust, nice smooth focus wheel, focus indicator there, autofocus, manual focus selector. Great, let's take it for a spin. We're in my local woodland and hills today. It's late evening after a grey, dull, rainy day, and we're gonna see what this can do. So I just shot that at 1/60th of a second f3.2, and it was still ISO 1600. Just to give you an idea of the light. Must be about 8 PM, late in July. Sun really fading now. Just a lot of thick cloud around. A few nice looking trees up here. One overhanging on the left hand side. Almost a tunnel of trees up the path. Usually, for a shot like this, with decent light, you might want to go down towards f16. If I go f11 in this light, it's giving me ISO 52,000. Even for the Sony, that's too much. Let's get one as an example. But what I'd want to do is drop the EV down. We'll go -1 and then take the f-stop. Let's even get away with f5.6, something like that. Focusing on the trunk on the right. ISO 12,800. So with this low light now, without a tripod, trying to do it handheld, we're pretty much limited to shooting f1.4 or pretty wide open. A nice tree here with a load of carvings in it, people's names, love hearts. Let's see what we can get here. Come back, get a bit of the bottom of the stump. Find a bit of separation. It's a little puddle of light here. It's really dim, but it stands out with the surrounding darkness. Bit of a nothing shot really. f1.4 on these leaves. It's going to look quite odd, I think. As I mentioned, this is one of my favourite lenses. I use this a lot for video. If you've watched any of my adventure films, you'd have seen this for those tent sequences. Really shallow depth of field, erecting a tent, taking down a tent. Maybe some of the night sky stuff is usually done with this lens, down at f1.4. Just coming out of the woodland now onto the top of the hill. This is a ridge that runs along some stones. 4 standing stones on the summit of the Clent Hills. So we'll have a wander down there. A little bit more light, although very grey. Little path leading off to, I think that's the Licky Hills in the far distance there. And then this opens up a view of Birmingham city centre. Somewhere I've come many times with a telephoto. It's about 12 miles in the distance there. Not the right lens for that really. We'll give it a quick go. A bit more light down here, so we can close it down to, we'll go for f10. We'll focus on the city in the distance. Quickly step over this fence. Try and get a cleaner shot of this field. It's quite nice. 3 trees down there. Birmingham city centre in the far distance there. We'll try this at f1.4 for shits and giggles. Go f4. Bench with a view. Nice bit of contrast in the sky there. Wrong lens. I'm going to call it a day. Back down the path. It's getting dark. It's late. Decent lens. I'll try and do more justice in a better video. For now, out.